Tesla is not only a beautiful vehicle that creates value for consumers, it's also a beautiful illustration of the problem of favoritism and crony capitalism. And the problem here is that for every bit of value that Tesla manages to create for consumers, it creates an enormous amount of value for politicians by hiding costs. No one really knows what the true cost of a Tesla is. And the reason is that when you add up all the privileges, all the costs are, they get much more difficult to see, and sometimes there's very nuanced costs here. So when you purchase a Tesla, you pay $70,000. You may pay $140,000, but that's your portion of the cost. Another portion of the cost, however, is sloughed off onto others. This includes direct loans from the Department of Energy, which a few years ago amounted to about $500 million. These include tax credits that purchasers of Tesla are able to obtain, $7,500 against their tax liability for every zero-emission vehicle that they purchase. And these also include state laws. Several states offer their own set of tax privileges, and they also include zero-emissions credit programs like California's. It even goes down to the most minute level. If you are parking at an airport in California, there are special parking spots that are set aside just for you if you're driving a zero-emissions vehicle like a Tesla. The law is well-intentioned. Policymakers are trying to counter what economists call a negative externality problem. If I purchase a gas-guzzling car and it produces all sorts of nasty effluents that come out of the tailpipe, then I'm imposing costs on others. And by failing to internalize those costs and take account of them, I will drive more and purchase nastier, dirtier cars more than would be socially efficient. The idea is to try to figure out how we can encourage people to buy vehicles that are more environmentally friendly. Any activity that you subsidize, you get more of. When the federal government transfers consumers or taxpayer dollars to a particular industry, that you're going to get more of whatever that industry is doing. In this case, Tesla is a leader in technology. So at first, you look at this and you say, well, clearly they are promoting some sort of new and innovative technology. But when you study across industries, across firms, and you look at those that are favored versus those that are not, Tesla's really an exception to the rule. Typically, a favored industry or a favored firm is not an innovative firm. It's not a firm that's going to challenge the status quo. They tend to ignore consumers, and they tend to think about not how they can create value for consumers, but how they can create value for politicians. All of these privilege-seeking behaviors are expensive. They are hidden costs of privilege that distort the economy, distort the incentives of both policymakers and people in business.